G'day everyone, welcome to another edition of Craps Down Under. Today I'm going to take our bankroll that we developed in our last video. Now I did get the payout wrong. I'd actually taken back, I think, five greens and no, it was 9 greens, sorry. I'd taken back 9 greens and had myself 2 blacks, so I shortchanged myself 25, which I actually put in the notes on my last video. I put up a text to explain that. So I do owe myself 25, and I think somewhere else, another comment in my videos is that I had shortchanged some dollars as well, and I can't really remember what the amount was, but I'm just going to treat that. It was only a very small amount, maybe $2 or somewhere around that amount. Could have been $5, somewhere like that, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to basically kind of keep it even. I'll just treat that as a dealer tip, sorry. I'll get that back as hundreds. So I'm going to just show where we're at. So we've got our two $300 bankrolls. That's our reserve bankroll there. We've got $24 here, which I'm going to split equally between the two. This 200 is going to go back in here, so I'm basically playing with 400. I've got two $312 reserve bankrolls. So the plan from here, look, maybe I'll stack them up as separate bankrolls so you can visually see that. And I kind of want to think of them as two bankrolls of $312. And the idea is I want to build these up to the $400, and my aim is to actually build a third bankroll as we go up to, we're now basically at $1,024, and I want to go up to $2,000. And on our journey to $2,000, I actually want to develop basically 4 $500 bankrolls. So I want to be playing with 500, and I want to have 3 $500 bankrolls in reserve. So a total of four bankrolls of $500 each. And that's where I want to be at when we get to the $2,000 mark. So I'm going to play with the 400, and as we go along, as we make our profit, I will boost these up. So these are also at a $400 level, and then I'll start building up the third bankroll, but I'll continue to play at this sort of $400 level for most of our journey, up to maybe about halfway, somewhere there we might transition to a $500. Once I've got sort of a couple hundred, maybe 200 or 300 here, then I'll transition to doing this at a $500 level. So let's get started. I'm going to play the one hit can't miss again. It seems to be working reasonably well. Look, it doesn't mean we can't have a bad run of it. Now but it does seem to get us there reasonably quickly most of the time. It hasn't failed us yet. So I'm going to there's 20 bucks. I'm going to basically get some whites, stick them in our rack to make sure I've got, that's 20 whites. Take back 20. Right, so now we've got what we need. We can set ourselves up playing at the $18 level on the don't pass. And I'll set these up as well. Normally we can wait for the point, but I'll just set them up so you can see. Now these are off, of course. They only work once we've got the point set. So with the one hit can't miss, it's only ever, the one wager at risk. So even though we've got 18, 18, 18, right? So we've got basically $54 of action. We've only ever really got 1 unit at risk through the entire strategy. And once we get that one hit, if we were to rack that one hit, which will be $21 up here, then we have basically covered all of our exposure and netted $3 worth of profit. But what I typically like to do is get that one hit and then spread to the 5 and the 9, or or maybe an outside, depending on what the point is. So I tend to like to widen the net a little bit. That'll then allow us to generate some more profits as we go. So let's get started. Take these two. All right, so dice coming out. And we've got 7 straight off the bat, so that's a frontline loser. So down 18. And that is the front line is where most of the risk is here. Front lines and set the point in PSO before we get a hit up here. I mean, they're the two things that we fear the most. But anyway, there we go, we've got a 4. So the point's going to be 4. All right, set 8, perfect. Okay, so that's a $21 winner. And what I'll do, I'll pick up the 5 and the 9. And there's a 6, so these are the numbers we really want to hit. The shooter's doing great. They're hitting exactly the numbers we care about. There's another $21 winner. So now we took 10 from our $21 win. So we racked 11, and now we've racked 21 there. Now we could certainly press our 5 and the 9 up. We could certainly do something like that. So that way we've still collected a total of $12, I think. No, sorry, 10 plus $22. So we're still ahead. Our exposure is only ever $18. One of these exposed, the rest is winnings. So by doing this, we're actually giving ourselves an opportunity to make some better hits on the outside, on the sort of the 5 and 9, not the outsides, but still insides, but still give us a reasonable profit. Wow, another $21 winner. I mean, this is kind of nice. We've paid for our loss on the front line as well that we had. So if you have a look, we're kind of with all our action on the felt that we have up here, and where we're basically ahead in our rack now. And there's a 6. I mean, the shooter's doing everything we want to see. So when I start these videos, I have no idea what's going to happen here. I just play them out, and whatever happens, happens. So I can't ask for better than this. So where are we at? If we look at what we've got on the felt, we've got basically 54 here, 64, 74, plus we've got probably $10, $12 there. We're awfully close to our profit target of $100. It's anywhere between that 80 to 100, so I think we're technically actually basically at our target of one shooter. 8. So it's going to be a very short video, because that's basically we're basically, I think, pretty much almost home. We're going to have what was it? I said 54, 64, 74, plus I've got about 15 there. So we're pretty much home. 6, all right, and that's kind of sealed it for us. Definitely home. All right. Okay, so taking all that down. Take that down. Take that down. Let's see where we're at. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Colour some of these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Want to see where we're at and we'll decide if we want to stay up any longer. So that's 3 5s. Little mode there, 2, 3, right, and these 3 go back in our rack. So I'll take all this back. All right, so that's 3 25s. So given we've got 75, basically 80, 85, that's basically 87, and then we've got 18 there. We've basically kind of hit our target. And we've got a 6, so $7. I'm just going to just keep racking these. I'm not going to do any more pressing. 9, doesn't affect us. 2, doesn't affect us. 9, doesn't affect us. Hit our point. So that's not what we want to see, but that's okay. We don't need to do anything here. I won't work, I'll just stay off. I was hoping we'd get our 7 out. 8's the point. All right, let's see what we can do. We've got a 5, so it doesn't affect us. And we've got a 7. Okay, so in effect we lost, what, that was 18 plus 12, so I lost $30 by staying in there to see it all out. We didn't have to stay in there, but we're certainly up $80, $85, and that's within our profit target. All right, we're in that 80 to 120 is our profit target, so we've made our profit as far as I'm concerned. Don't need to stay here any longer. I'm going to take that win and chalk it up as a win. What I'm going to do, I'm going to colour all this up together if I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's another 25. All right, so I can split that evenly between our 2 bankrolls. Haven't got quite enough there for that one, but that's all right. What do I do there? 5. It's not going to split evenly, but that's okay. All right, so 3, 3. All right, I'll put one over here. There we are, 401, and these guys have basically got $354. All right, so $354 each. So I built up our 2 reserve bankrolls, and we've still got our 400 or 401 in our rack. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to tempt fate anymore. That's a session win. It's 20% of 400 is $80. We made more than that, and that's good enough. So appreciate you watching. We'll continue to grow this and start working. Once we get these to the $400 level, we'll then build this 3rd bankroll, and then we'll build it all to $500. So that's the plan. And by the time we're at that $2,000, we'll now be playing at a $500 bankroll. Assuming we get there, then that will be 20% of there is somewhere around 20 to 30% is somewhere around $100 to $150. So it's not bad. It's a kind of in that nice win territory where you go to the casino, make $150. Most people are kind of go, yeah, $150 is not bad for maybe 10, 20 minutes, maybe could be half an hour. I don't know. It depends on what the table's doing and how many people. But if you can go to the casino and reasonably confidently get a 20% win each time, and it's $150, I think most people would be reasonably happy with that kind of an outcome. And if you continue to maintain the discipline, there's no reason why, you know, with a double the size of bankroll, that you can potentially be making 300 every time. And then you double the bankroll again, then you could be making 600 every time. And yes, you're bringing a large bankroll, but it's well within what's achievable with the natural variance of the game, given you have a large enough bankroll and you're betting fairly modestly for that bankroll. So that's kind of point I want to get across. If you're betting modestly, which is what we are, where we can survive more than, you know, we've only ever got $18 at risk and we've got $400 bankroll, right? That allows us to basically survive 20 shooters, you know, 20 adverse events. So it's a reasonable level to be playing at given our session bankroll size. And even if everything was to go pear-shaped and, you know, for whatever reason we have some really adverse set of rolls, well, guess what? We've still got 2 reserve bankrolls. We live to fight again, and yeah, it's probably unlikely that you're going to get back-to-back-to-back adverse sessions unless you're over betting or, you know, doing something that's not really disciplined. I can't see that you'd be getting that many adverse rolls back-to-back-to-back. So, or across multiple sessions. So that's why we're trying to build these guys up. That's the whole point of that, is to give us some longevity in the game, give us a strong base, and the more of these we can build up, you know, the more adverse events we can survive over time. And that's the whole idea. We want to, you know, if I could get 20 of these, I'd feel really safe going to the casino and saying, oh, I'll take $1,000, right? If I've got 20 bankrolls of $1,000 each, taking $1,000 to the casino is not a big deal if you've built up 20 $1,000 bankrolls from consolidation of winnings. So that's kind of the idea that I'm trying to get across here. Play conservative, build up your bankroll from humble beginnings, which is what we've been doing, and, you know, then you can play from a position of strength. You know, $1,000, you can still play, you know, still keep playing relatively conservative like what we're doing. And, you know, $1,000, what's 20% of $1,000? $200, right? So $200, you can go every time you go to the casino. You know, you've got a good chance. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. There's no guarantees. It's gambling, right? But you've got a good chance that you can make 20% somewhere through your session. And I'm not saying you can't have bad sessions. You know, of course you can. You know, everyone gets bad sessions and bad dice rolls. It doesn't matter what you do, it just happens to go wrong. And I acknowledge that that's a fact, and that's why we're doing this. We're building up these bankrolls for those kinds of events that do occur. So there's a method to this, and this is why I'm saying it's also important not to spend your winnings. Right? A lot of people go, oh yeah, let me spend my winnings. That's great, yes, you can do that, but give yourself a chance to grow your bankroll to a point where, you know, your winnings, you know, if you've got, say, 10 $1,000 bankroll, say you've got 10K, right, or maybe 20 $500 bankrolls, you know, you can win $200 and go, okay, well, I'm going to take this one and do something with in my lifestyle, whether it's go out for dinner or buy something you've been wanting to get. You can kind of, you're not always having to build your bankroll. Yeah, there's a point you reach where you can take your winnings and use that in your lifestyle, and but don't shortcut building the bankroll. Build the bankroll first, then use your winnings to you know, take your reward. You know, you're doing this, you're having fun, but it's also, you know, by playing disciplined, you want to get some reward, and personal reward in your lifestyle is a great thing to do. But you just got to be patient to build the bankroll first to get there before you start, you know, taking it out. If I was to say, oh, let me go and do this, I can do this, but now I'm in a far weaker position. I can get wiped out, and then I have to start right back at the very beginning again. So that's what I'm saying. Build these guys up so that when you do get a session loss, it's not a catastrophe. It's you've got strength behind you. So anyway, don't want to preach too much, but it's just my thinking behind how you want to play long term in the game. It is a negative expectation game. You are going to get losses. That's just a fact. You can't. There's nothing you can avoid on that. Maybe you can influence dice. I know that I can't influence dice. In all my playing around, I haven't been able to do really anything in that manner. I've had lots of variations in my outcomes. I've had some crazy dice rolls that go 50 plus rolls, but I haven't dedicated the time to even, I've dedicated some amount of time to see if things can work. But when I watch things on slow motion, I'm probably more in the camp that dice influence, is something that would take an incredible amount of skill and persistence to master and to be able to do consistently. I'm personally of the view that that's probably not the best use of my time. I've got a busy family and all these other things I need to do, and I just can't really dedicate my time into the amount of practice that I think would be required to get there. Doesn't mean one day I may not. I might have that time to do that, but currently it's not something I can actually even begin to invest my time into. But I can invest my time into playing the way I'm playing and learning how to play within the variation of the game and the norms that we expect to happen in the hands, the length of the hand, shooters lasting, 8.5 rolls on average, or hands, after roll 5, there's less than a 50% chance that the hand will continue, because that accounts for all the possible combinations of the game state. Does it come out or not come out? Did they set the point on their first roll, second roll? All of those different possible combinations, when that's mathematically calculated, it's between roll 5 and roll 6. You cross that barrier from being, it becomes less than 50% chance the hand will continue. And so when I start looking at probabilities, there's lots of different types of probabilities you can look at. And that's one of the probabilities that I do try and pay attention to. That's why I do reduce my risk on the table. I regress things down. I'll take bets off here because I'm trying to reduce that risk, because I know that statistically the likelihood of the hand continuing is always diminishing on every single roll, because that's just another chance that the 7 can show. Look, I probably said enough, but if you're watching the videos, I just wanted to really share what my thinking process is, but what behind building these bankrolls, and not just simply taking that and putting it in my pocket. I'm trying to build a position of strength so that I can, in a future point, take that money and put it in my pocket. But I want it to be done in a way that I can sustain that, and I can do that every week. That I could take $200 and go, yep, I'll take that one, put that in my pocket, and I've got enough bankroll to survive, those adverse dice rolls that are going to happen. So anyway, appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.